Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, December the 26th. It's Boxing Day. Hope you had a very good Christmas and some time for yourself, some reading time, but also some family and friends time if that is something you are enjoying. So we didn't have morning shows both Tuesday and Wednesday because there just weren't enough books being published. So today we're going to be looking at three different genres. We'll be looking at mysteries and thrillers, romance, and fantasy and sci-fi. Trust me, there's not a lot in each, but hopefully we'll have enough for today. Good morning, Emily. How are you? Did you have a good Christmas? Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. I'm back to work, so we're back to our regular schedule. Our next sprints after that are on Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they go for 5 hours. And tomorrow's morning show, we'll be looking at Cozy Mysteries. All right. This is it for Mysteries and Thrillers 3. First up, Watch Your Back by Terry Parlato. Accidents happen no matter how careful or well-intentioned you are. Psychiatrist Eve Thayer frequently reassures her patients of that fact. There are even times when accidents have good consequences, like when Eve met her now husband Nathan at his collision shop after another car ran her off the road. After a whirlwind courtship, Nathan and Eve have settled into domestic life. They have a lovely home on a quiet street, a beautiful baby girl, and even the perfect babysitter to care for her. And yet, something isn't quite right. The stress in Eva's life is mounting both professionally and personally. Though the clinic where she works has been remodeled since its notorious days as an institution for the criminally insane, she feels increasingly uneasy there, and in her own neighborhood, a break-in at a nearby empty house hasn't helped either. Detective Rita Myers hasn't yet figured out whether Eve's a target or a suspect, but every disturbing discovery in this usually peaceful neighborhood seems to revolve around her. Only as a deadly ice storm crashes through does it become clear just how far from perfect Eve and Nathan's lives really are. And as the cracks in the surface come to light, so do the sinister secrets that lies beneath. The Resurrectionist by A. Ray Dunlap. You did? Oh, good, good, good. Edinburgh, Scotland, 1828. Naive but determined, James Willoughby has abandoned his posh, sheltered life at Oxford to pursue a lifelong dream of studying surgery in Edinburgh. A shining beacon of medical discovery in the age of new enlightenment, the city's university offers everything James desires, except the chance to work on a human cadaver. For that, he needs to join one of the private schools in Surgeon Square at a cost he cannot afford. In desperation, he strikes a deal with Aneurin Nye McKinnon, a dashing young dissectionist with an artist's eye for anatomy and a reckless passion for knowledge. Nye promises to help him gain the surgical experience he craves, but it doesn't take long for James to realize he's made a devil's bargain. Nye is a body snatcher. We're shocked. And James has unwittingly become his accomplice. Intoxicated by Nye and his noble mission, James rapidly descends into the underground ranks of the resurrectionists, the body snatchers, infamous for stealing fresh corpses from churchyards to be used as anatomical specimens. Before he knows it, James is caught up in a real life or death scheme as rival gangs of snatchers compete in a morbid race for power and prestige. James and Nye soon find themselves in the crosshairs of a shady pair of unscrupulous opportunists known as Burke and Hare, who are dead set on cornering the market no matter the cost. These unsavory characters will do anything to beat the competition for bodies, even if it's cold-blooded murder, which is very cost-productive for them because then they can use your body, sell your body. Yeah, that was a very dark time in their history. After the Ocean by Lauren E. Rico. 30 years ago, musicians Emilia Oliveras and Paul Winstead were married in Puerto Rico. 48 hours later, Paul vanished from their honeymoon cruise, leaving Emilia devastated and the prime suspect in his disappearance. So she ran for her life, leaving behind her love, her dreams, and her identity. Today, Emily Oliver is a divorced music teacher and mother of two daughters who know nothing about her past. Gracie, a talented attorney who excels in the courtroom but grapples with personal relationships, and Meg, a gifted concert pianist who wrestles with her ambition and purpose. When a cryptic caller claims the unthinkable, that Paul is alive, Emily returns to Puerto Rico in search of the truth. What she doesn't know is that her daughters aren't far behind. Shocked to find their mother isn't the woman they thought she was, Gracie and Meg wonder how much of their lives has been a lie. It's not about you, girls. As the paths of the three women intertwine, they are compelled to confront their paths, reevaluate their relationships, and seek forgiveness. Together, they embark on a quest to unravel the mystery of Paul's disappearance and redefine their futures on their own terms, navigating a maze of family ties, secrets, and redemption. You can tell it's written by a young author because she made it about the daughters who had nothing to do with it. Editorial comment. All right, so that was Tuesdays. Here's Wednesdays. And look, we have 4. One more. River Wild by B.J. Daniels. Yes, this is a new one. I did check. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. Back to regular life. Indeed. I do hear jingle bells in the distance, but fading fast. Yes. We get one last hurrah with Boxing Day if one wants to acknowledge it. But, yeah, time to consider taking down the Christmas decorations. I'll leave the tree up until next week, probably. The tree at work. Some scars can't be hidden. Sheriff Stuart Layton has plenty of those, courtesy of an attack that left him doubting himself as a lawman. But in Bailey McKenna, he recognizes a different kind of hurt. That unspoken understanding has him opening his door to the mysterious, elusive young woman again and again, hoping she'll tell him what she's running from. Bailey has spent years searching for the rancher who put her through hell. She never saw his face, but she's convinced he's somewhere in Powder River. Now suddenly she has terrifying proof of how close he is. This time, Stuart is by her side, determined to protect her and find retribution for himself. But will that be enough to fend off a killer waiting to finish off what he started? That's a pretty cover. I wonder if cowboy romances became bigger because, or is becoming bigger because of Yellowstone. I have some gift cards and I need ideas. Ooh, fun. No, I leave the decorations up through January. I need the pretty to help spell the gloom of winter. That is a good plan. Very overcast here in Virginia, but warmer, 30 degrees and up into the mid-40s. That's kind of what we're doing today, too, here in Montana. A Perfect Match by Kimberly Cates, 4th in a Jubilee Point series. At 27, free-spirited Rowena Brown has never fit in anywhere, not with her ambitious family, not at veterinary school, and certainly not in any relationships she's ever had. But surely the good people of Whitewater, Illinois will welcome a pet store owner whose talent is finding the perfect home for problem animals, even if they do have names like Destroyer. She went to vet school and she owns a pet store. When a 100-pound monstrosity of a dog appears at his door, 100 pounds ain't nothing. I'm sorry. That's your average golden retriever. When you hit like the 140s, 150s, then we'll talk. Whitewater deputy Cashel Lanahan knows he's in trouble. A single dad with 2 young daughters, Cash wants more chaos in his life about as much as he wants to find himself drawn to the eccentric Rowena. But if he's not careful, the unruly hound and his unconventional owner might reignite Cash's hopes along with his heart to help them find them all find home at last. That dog on the cover is not 100 pounds. That is more like 130. Probably written by somebody who has a 5-pound toy dog. Mini something or other. She said snobbishly about her big dog. We've had fog the last few days, and we are supposed to go up to 50 the next few days. It's been a mild winter, and I'm not complaining. I think you may be right about Yellowstone. I haven't watched it, tried, but didn't like it, at least a little bit I saw. I've tried to watch it. It's supposedly set in Montana. The county I live in is Yellowstone, though the series is set a little west from here, supposedly. It is not what Montana is like. Kyo's doing good. He's doing good. All 140 pounds of him. Love and Translation by Joss Wood. A stressed-out translator on the brink of a meltdown and a thrill-seeker with a serious case of wanderlust find love outside their comfort zones. Up until a few months ago, Rio Whitlock had it all: stability, self-confidence, and a safe job as an interpreter for the United Nations. It was the predictable sort of existence she, as a dedicated homebody, had always dreamed of. The security she needed thanks to her nomadic #van life upbringing. But ever since an unfortunate hot mic moment threw her career into a tailspin, she's been struggling, really struggling with fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. A calculated escape is in order, and Rio knows just the place, her grandmother's secluded hideaway in the breathtaking town of Gilmartin. Except she won't be alone thanks to a random twist of fate. Fletcher Wright lives for adrenaline, always chasing the next high, so when he learns he'll have to share his rental accommodations with Rio, a stranger basically, he simply chalks it up to another challenge. It doesn't hurt that there's an immediate attraction between them, which neither can explain. Before long, they're not just sharing a house and new experiences, they're sharing a bed. But when it's time for Fletcher to move on to the next adventure, he and Rio will both have to decide, are they ready to take the biggest risk of all? Stuck in the Country with You by Zuri Day. She's packing her bags and her baggage. 10 years ago, Genesis Washington made a very poor decision. At the time, it seemed great, fantastic, explosive. But the truth is, your one-night rebound should never be your younger brother's rival. And he definitely shouldn't be someone who allegedly only slept with you to gain the upper hand, even if the sex was amazing. Now Genesis is blindsided when the farm she's inherited just happens to be right next door to Jackson King, the regrettable one-night stand she's still painfully attracted to. This man has aged like the finest of wines, and what's worse, he's now a thoughtful and responsible father. Good thing Genesis has a long-distance boyfriend. Well, sort of. It's complicated. Jackson and his hotness should be easy enough to ignore, but when city girl Genesis discovers that there's a serious learning curve to her humble new home, it's Jackson who's there to lend a very skilled helping hand. With every problem that arises, Jackson is seemingly making all the right moves, both on the farm and when things heat up behind closed doors. But surely that doesn't mean he's right for Genesis, does it? I bet it does. I betcha. And that's all the romance. I told you, the pickings were slim this week. Anorexic even. And fantasy and sci-fi, there's 3. Woohoo! Mary, did you have a good Christmas? A new one by Mercedes Lackey. Yes, this is a new one. I did check. This is called Miss Amelia's List. 17th in the Elemental Masters series. The year is 1815, and an American, Miss Amelia Stonehold, has arrived in the Devon town of Axminster, accompanied by her cousin, Serena Maliva. She's brought with her a list to tick off: find a property, investigate the neighbors, bargain for and purchase the property, staff the property, and possibly find a husband. But when Amelia soon finds herself contending with some decidedly off-list trouble, including the Honorable Captain Harold Roughtower, whose eyes are fixed on her fortune, little does Amelia know that his plans for her wealth extend far beyond refurbishing his own crumbling estate. They include the hidden Roman temple of Glycon, where something very old, very angry, and very dangerous still lurks. But Rough Tower isn't prepared to reckon with the fact that neither Amelia nor Serena are pushovers, and he certainly isn't ready for the revelation that he has an Earth Master and a Fire Mage on his hands, or that one of them is a shapeshifter. Interesting. I will admit, for a person who reads fantasy sci-fi, I've never read a Mercedes Lackey. Super slim for sure. Yeah, that's why we didn't have any for Tuesday and Wednesday. 3 for Tuesday, 4 for Wednesday, and 3 for today. Woo! A lovely Christmas with friends that are really family in another world. Lots of good food, conversations, laughter. He has presents too. Awesome. Our turkey was good. Just had the traditional Thanksgiving-ish kind of stuff with potatoes and stuffing and gravy and stuff. The real winner was Christmas Eve. I made cheesy sausage balls, which are very delicious. And I made like a quadruple batch, so we have leftovers for quite a while. So I don't have to cook for a few days. But it was just absolutely glorious having 2 days off in a row. That was a true gift. A Sky of Emerald Stars by A.K. Mulford, second in the Golden Court series, or duology, perhaps. Secret Song, A Hidden Fortress, a world on the brink of war. After the long despotic reign under the evil sorceress Samhain, life in the Golden Court is finally rebuilding. New leadership means new beginnings, and Sadie Ruxtide, now a royal guard, has been grappling with how she'll fit into her new home. But when a rival wolf king, Nero, kidnaps the queen's friend and mentor, Aura, any hopes for peace are lost. The Golden Court springs into action, and Sadie is tasked with an important mission: travel with Navin and Maze to try to win new allies and uncover Nero's hidden secrets. Yet Navin has secrets of his own, and Sadie is tasked with uncovering them while battling her growing attraction to the man who betrayed her. She has a mission, but the heart wants what it wants, and fate has its own magic, and it's one more thing out of her control. Meanwhile, Queen Kala is forced to seek help from the Ice Wolf pack in order to stop Nero's prejudicial rule. However, the Queen of Tygos makes Kala's objectives impossible with their capricious relationship standing in the way, completely unwilling to commit in helping Kala rescue Aura, and repeatedly dismissing Kala's new gender identity. With no true allyship from Tygos court, Kala battles between diplomacy and being their true self, as they realize coming out is only the beginning of their journey of self-discovery. Tensions rise on both fronts as Sadie and Kala struggle to gain support for the brewing war and realize that the world of Iotrius is more than it seems. Blah, blah, blah. Well, so far I am marked safe from wanting to read any of these books. Trust me. And we're getting close to 2025, which is my read what you own era. Heavenly Tyrant, second in the Iron Widow series, duology, whatever this is going to be. After suffering devastating loss and making drastic decisions, Zishan finds herself on the seat of power in Huaxia, But she has also learned that her world is not as it seems. Revelations about an enemy who dangles one of her loved ones as a hostage force Zishan to share power with a dangerous man she cannot simply depose. Despite their mutual dislike and distrust, the two must work together to take down their common enemy and stoke a revolution against the systems of exploitation that plague their world. However, power is not so easy to wield once seized, and a revolution is not so easy to control once unleashed. As Huaxia's former elites strike back and the common people's fervor for justice turns bloody and paranoid, can Zishan remain a fair and just ruler? Or will she be forced to rely on fear and violence and succumb to her darker instincts in her quest for vengeance and liberation? And that's all there is. And happily so. I was not really attracted to any of those books. Yes, the time off means more than food, but food is nipping it heels pretty hard. Absolutely, yes. I will. I did have my fair share of Chex Mix. Going to strike a blow on the mess that, oh, lots of work ahead of me, but must be done. Me too. That's also 2025. I've got to get rid of stuff. I'm verging on hoarders, so I need to. It's just when there is time, I'm just tired from work or, blah. So, but yes, that is also a 2025 thing. Well, tomorrow we'll be looking at the rest of the Cozy Mysteries. Cozy Mysteries never let us down. There's always a lot of those. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. We're back on regularly scheduled programming. Hope you guys have a good Thursday. It's going to be hard to remember that it's Thursday. It's a good problem to have, but it's going to be a problem. All right. Have a very good day. Please take care of yourselves. You guys are in my heart. Read good books. It's okay to set them aside. Put them on pause if it's not working for you. But otherwise, as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.